I am joined by someone else who's very special and very awesome, and he's local to Charlotte, and he is the man, the one, the only, Josh Sides from Winthrop University. Welcome, Josh.
Hey, CJ. Glad to be here.
Thanks. I'm glad you could be here too, man. So we've worked together on a lot of different stuff, and I'm super excited that you are here tonight. But I wanted to bring you on, one, so that the kids can get an opportunity to say, hey, there's an actual coach for an actual esports program, because you're kind of famous in their eyes. And they asked me to talk to the coaches every single day. So this is their first opportunity to be able to interact with you, even if it's from afar. So they're super stoked about it. But my first question for you would be, tell me a little bit about your program. Tell me a little bit about Winthrop and what you guys do over there.
Yeah, well, so Winthrop is the first NCAA Division I athletics program to add esports. We're going into our second semester just now. We just started it, and we're pretty universally considered as one of the top programs in the nation. Our League of Legends team and our Overwatch team from last year were very highly ranked, and we've decided to add Valorant, Rocket League, and in the spring we'll be adding Super Smash Brothers. So we just keep on growing.
That is awesome. Yeah. Any plans to reach out into some more games, some more titles after that, maybe?
Well, there's a couple that, there's a couple that, we get emails. I get emails all the time of like, do you guys have Fortnite? Do you guys have Rainbow Six? Do you guys have CSGO? We're always considering adding new games, just kind of depending on where the interest is. I mean, if there came a collegiate Fall Guys League, we'd look into adding that too. So we go where the support is, and right now, I mean, you look at games like League of Legends and Rocket League, and those are some of the most well supported in the collegiate space by far.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about what you look for in potential recruits that come play for your program.
Well, obviously, being a premier, premier esports org in the collegiate scene, we do look for kind of that top tier of talent. We are always recruiting from the top % of a percent to bring to campus, to bring to Winthrop. But beyond that, there's some really important intangibles that a player needs to have for Winthrop. A player needs to be willing to kind of buy into the culture that we have here, which is very much kind of like a family unit. We're a pretty strongly bonded team. We eat together, we practice together, the guys study together. If you're kind of a lone wolf, you're probably not going to work out too well here. On top of that, I mean, we try and get players with as small an ego as possible. We try and get players with that have good communication traits, good attitudes, positive attitudes. That's probably the most important thing. I know a lot of the players that are coming through this tournament, they've probably played on amateur teams or high school teams and stuff like that. And if you have a problem as a team, you can just kick a player and get a new player, or disband and rejoin, or there's always LFT. Well, in collegiate, I mean, you guys are together for school years at a time, so so that attitude, having that positive attitude, is super important, and that's probably the number one thing that we look for in tryouts, is that this person can work with others well.
Yeah, those intangibles being super important. What about timeliness, showing up on time? Is that something you look for a lot?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if someone, I mean, gamers tend to run a little late, from my experience with scrims and stuff, but yeah, definitely that's super important. Definitely don't blow off tryouts. That, I mean, anyone who's ever done that has immediately gotten kicked off the tryouts list, basically. So definitely time management, responsibility, stuff like that. I mean, be able to have your priorities in order. If you're coming to play in collegiate, you've got to be a good time manager. You've got to be able to set good priorities, because you're going to have to juggle not just, grinding your game, but you're going to have to juggle, a class schedule, and doing laundry for the first time for some of you guys out there, and things that you don't think about, you need to consider,
Yeah.
as so we do look for players with good time management.
Good. What about their schedule? What does the daily schedule look like from a just a regular student to an esports athlete in your program?
So for our program in particular, we kind of go a little bit lower of a intensity than some other universities out there. We're not practicing every day a week. We're not, double blocking days. That's kind of part of our culture too, is that we do want to let our players have, a college experience and be college students.
Yeah.
So we probably scrim anywhere between like 4 and 5 times a week, single block days. So it doesn't add too much on top of your schedule. Obviously, we ask that you're, playing the game outside of practice. There's requirements to that too. Yeah. And but all in all, it's, compared to a lot of other schools, we don't ask for a lot of our players' time during the week comparatively. But it is important to note that it will, you do need to be able to make that time for practice and for practicing alone and warming up for practice and stuff like that. You need to be able to figure out where in your evening, when we have practices, you're going to fit, laundry, dinner, homework, things like that, because, you have to fit all those blocks in there.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, thanks, Josh. I appreciate you, man. This has been awesome. I think super insightful for a lot of the kids watching that are competing and want to be a part of a program like yours in the future, and realizing that, it's not just right now. There's 2 matches a day for them inside this program, along with their high school program, their high school classes and things like that, maybe other athletics they're doing. But in college, it sounds like it only gets like more intense, being able to manage that time, being able to play at a higher level. So, we want to instill those values, and I think that you've kind of displayed that message here today. So thanks so much for coming on, man. You are definitely an innovator in the space, and I'm super excited for your program for the future. And I hope that we can get you some Rocket League players, maybe from this this fall nationals, and maybe any other stuff around the future.
There's a good number of really good players in this tournament that I've noticed. So. Feel free to reach out, guys. And if you don't reach out, we'll be reaching out.
That's right. There you go. Cool. Well, thanks so much, Josh. I appreciate it. After this, we're going to go back to match 1. It's going to be me. We found the box turtle. He was hiding. So scared, alone in the closet. My goodness, man. It's okay. He's looking at me now. We found him. He's going to be back right here next to me. We're going to go to match 1. But thanks so much to Josh. And let's get rolling with Fall Nationals match number 1 tonight.